Hi, this is Riaz from Networks Learning. Welcome to Cisco Next Generation Firewall, Firepower Threat Defense. In this lab, we will configure access control policies and access control policy rules for our LAN traffic. We are using FMC and FTD version 7.0. FMC running on ESXi host, and for FTD lab, I am using PentLab emulator. I have FTD firewall 1 connected to the out of band management, and FMC is also connected out of band management network. At access, we have one of access router which is being used as access device for initiating traffic towards firewall, and policies are applied on the VLAN on which the router is connected. So our firewall is pre-configured with basic connectivity, and now we are heading towards policies. We have default policy with an action of block all traffic, and logging is enabled. In last video we checked the logging. In this video we will enable ICMP traffic for this router at firewall so that it can ping 8.8.8 over the internet. So we have RGS campus ACP policy, and we have not configured any rule yet, so we can check the default action which is blocked, and the traffic should be logged. From access device, I am initiating an ICMP request to 8.8.8.8. So in connection events, we should see the traffic which should be blocked by the firewall. So here is my traffic coming from 10.12.1.50 to and going to 8.8.8, and its action is blocked. And how it's blocked and which policy is applied to block this traffic, let's check. Access control policy is campus ACP, and access control rule is default action. So this traffic is matching with the default action of RGS campus ACP policy default rule. That's why it's blocked. Now we will configure a policy to allow the ICMP traffic from my inside host. Allow ICMP ITPC inside zone, or you can configure any zone, from any to any. So let's leave it any to any. So zone any, destination zone any. Currently we only have two zones, inside and outside, so we will identify the networks, ITPC, add to source networks. We have added it to source networks. Then in the port section you can specify the port which is ICMP of any type. Then in the logging section you can enable the logs for this traffic. So this rule is configured. Let me save, deploy. Let the deployment work. It's 8%. It takes some time to deploy the configurations to the FTD. So I'll be pausing the video over here, and we'll be back once it's done. So the deployment is completed. We'll check now the connection logs for this traffic being initiated from the access device. Let's again initiate the traffic. So I have initiated the traffic. Let me refresh the connection table. Yes, again this time the action is allow 10.12.1.50 888 and ICMP. Let's go into more details for this packet. And application protocol is ICMP, CMP client, risk medium, business relevance medium, application control, campus ACP, and allow ICMP ITPC. The access control rule which is matching for this traffic is here. So this is the way the packets and access control policies and rules are configured under access control policies. One more thing you might have noticed over here, that I am not able to receive the ping response back. Why? Because the subnet which is being used at access, which is 10.12.1.50, is not being net on my outside interface of the FTD. There are two ways that I can get response at this device. One is that I should net this pool to the outside IP address of the firewall, or I should directly route this subnet to the edge router and then perform the netting for that for the access subnet over here at router end. In the next video I will show you how to configure net for this access subnet at our firewall level. I will configure netting at firewall and route the entire LAN traffic on our outside interface IP address, which in this case is let me show you. I think it's 10.10.201.3. Let me show you. On outside I am using 10.10.201.0/29 subnet. So I will net all the LAN traffic to 10.10.201.3 in my next video. In this video I showed you how you can configure access control policy and their subsequent rules for matching certain type of traffic for as per your requirement. This was just for access control policy rule implementation. You can have multiple rules, and under multiple rules you can have multiple conditions to have a granular control over how the users can access or access the services over the internet or over your campus intranet. You can have control over them. Thanks for watching. In next video I'll show you the NAT configurations.